We are going to go to the US to listen to a very, very special inspirational speaker, a lady who has really shown us that it is very possible to change your life, even working from home. A lady who has shown us that it is possible to build an international business all over the world. A lady whose checks motivate me so much. A lady, whenever she speaks, I'm like, my goodness, I pray to God to give me such kind of downlines. She's very special. She's been able to grow this business in a very, very short time. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome none other than Rachel Miner, all the way from the US to share with us. Rachel Miner comes from the team, from our sister team in Kenya with Grace Chege. And this team has been a blessing to our team. So we truly thank you for that teamwork and for all that you've done to help us to be able to grow and succeed. So Rachel, you can take it on, please.
Thank you, Justus, for the honor and privilege to come and share with your team. And one thing I agree with Dennis is that TNN is key. I cannot doubt that at all, because that's where my life began with TNN. And I agree with, his passionate presentation. Everything is really, it's like he was looking at me as I was thinking and shared most of what I wanted to say. But however, I will go over it all over again because it's important for us. We need to hear it and hear it over and over again. We'll begin by introducing myself. I am calling from the US, but I'm born and brought up in Kenya. I moved to the US over 20 years ago with my family, and this is where I live in Maryland with my family. I'm a mother of two and a grandmother, and by training, I'm a mental health clinician who retired due to sickness. I met my unfortunate sickness by falling, and I had my spine impaired, and that saw me go through multiple surgeries, and through the multiple surgeries to stabilize my spine. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get back where I needed to be. I was left in pain. I was left helpless. I wasn't eating or sleeping, and my life was dark. In 2020, the time that my upline, who is on this call, Josephine Marango, came to me and told me about Neolife products, I had gotten to a point where I knew this is it. I didn't see any way that I was going to recover because I had tried everything. The surgeries had me, my surgeon had discharged me as to leave disabled all my life. I was actually declared disabled at that point. And he said I would live on pain medication and I would never be able to go back to work or to self-care. So I didn't have any hope, and I had actually considered ordering a wheelchair to come back home to Kenya, because you always want to come back home and relax there, because I wasn't doing anything that I was doing here. I wasn't working, I was just sitting at home. At that time is when Josephine came to me and told me about Neolife. And I said, at this point, my friend, I have tried everything. And she's actually ended up being my sponsor. I didn't even know, that she was sponsoring me, because Josephine and I, we had just been told about Neolife products because we came in because we were very sick, both of us. So I started buying, I started with the core nutrition of Provitality. And I'll tell you, these products are powerful, because within 2 weeks, I started seeing changes, something I hadn't seen, someone coming from a desperate corner. So I was looking for small signs to tell me things are getting better. And within 6 months, I tell you, after taking supplements for, my back, because that was impaired and I was having problems ambulating, I started being able to walk without assistive aids or even without having my family hold my hands. And I started doing things that I love to do. One of them is cooking. I went back to my kitchen in 6 months, and I tell you, it felt at that point like I was telling another person's story. It didn't feel like I'm the one who was really, really sick and bedbound 2018, 2019. I even lost my mother and I couldn't even travel to bury her. That was the lowest of the lowest for me. And I thank Neo Life that has lifted me from that particular point. So what did I do? I lost my job. At that time when I was declared disabled, I had lost my job and there was no source of income. I was relying on my family to provide. So when I started taking the supplements, Neo Life supplements, I saw a big change because I received my first check. And this is not something that even Josephine knew because we didn't know much about it. That when you buy your supplements, even just starting to buy yourself, that you get a check. I got my first small check of $34, and I was like, Josephine, this is interesting. And then I got another one of 182, and I became a director. I believe in the third month, I became a director, and my check blew my mind off. It was over 1,000, 400 US dollars. This was a lot of money. And I knew now I am back to being able to be a provider. And I told my husband, you know what? I can even pay the rent. I can help you. And Josephine and I became deliberate on, paying attention to Neo Life as a source of income, because you can imagine you're sick and in pain and you have no money. Right now, you've started getting money and the pain has started going. Obviously, it's not a quick fix because there are still challenges. But for me, there were not even challenges worth paying attention to, because my biggest thing was the, mobility. When that came back, I started now feeling like I am all fixed and I wanted to help more people. And I started telling people, and I remembered my first person to think about is on this call was my sister, Director Emma in Kenya. I told her about the supplements and I told her, I want you to try. And this is what I said. I hear that you can make money with these supplements, but I'm not interested. Go ahead and look. So how she went in, took the supplements, got her challenges fixed because she had a major challenge and she started telling people. Because for me, I knew I just wanted to get well and go back to my mental health, clinician job, which I love. That's why I wasn't paying attention. And I also told my other sister in the UK, Emerald Elizabeth, who also, took the supplements, got her, her testimony and started bringing people in. So that's how now we started building the business. And this is the time of COVID and we are at home and all we are doing is just calling people. By then I didn't even have a Zoom link. I got a Zoom link much later because that was, even beginning of 2020, I didn't even know what Zoom is. So we just, got a Zoom and we started now contacting other people. We started learning. It was like a crash program and we were being taught, Grace Chege, PT Grace Chege in Nairobi, who is our upline, she did a great job on making us believe and see that we could do the business. But all along, what was really exciting me is to be able to reach as many people, get them from the desperation of pain that I had gone through. And every time I had a story that someone is doing very well, I knew my mission was being accomplished. Of course, I enjoyed making the money and helping other people because as soon as people started telling other people, the business started growing. And this is what Justus wanted me to talk about, how this business grew. It grew, you can see it came from a point of me being very sick and wanting to reach as many people as possible. And the people I reach out to are not people with financial issues, like Dennis. Dennis came in for financial help or financial, need. We came in because of health, and the people I naturally reach out to are people with health issues. Even here, even today, I have a big team, and I reached out to them for health issues because I believe your health is your wealth. Once you get well, then the wealth will come in. And this is what has really been coming in. I've been seeing this coming true because we are able to bring in to sponsor people a lot, because I knew after we started studying and going to meetings in Kenya where Grace and Isaac and all those people were presenting to us, we knew if we wanted to, and my team, if we wanted to really grow, then we needed to tell as many people as possible. And that was sponsoring. Now it became a business. I became focused, started reading a lot, and even started asking myself, this network marketing, I'm moving from the line of psychology to network marketing, and I wanted to know what it was, all about. I started reading the book by Robert Kiyosaki, 20th century network marketing is a business of the 20th century. That made me feel happy just to see him saying how different it is from formal employment. And I paid more attention and got more deliberate. And that's how we started sponsoring. And I can tell you, it's been a growth point for our team, because since we started the team in 2020, we have been in North America and Canada, we have been among the top 10 and top 20 every single month, because we have taken it very seriously. To date, on the 14th, my team has sponsored 16 people. I actually helped my team, someone sponsored this morning, at 8 o'clock, I was on the phone with someone helping my team. We already have 16 people, and I believe by the time we get to the close of the month, maybe it will be 30. So the team has been sponsoring a lot, because there's no growth without sponsoring. Without bringing in new people, there is no growth. Because every time, like, I call members of my team, where are we at? Oh, I believe I'll be able to sponsor. So everybody has gotten that we need to be talking to as many people as possible. We need to be helping people, especially with the challenges of, the sickness, the chronic illnesses that are plaguing our people. So that is one of the things that we have focused on that. And by sponsoring, what we do is, one of the things we do is the third party integrity, credibility, third party credibility. That's something we do here a lot, whereby with the dynamics of business here. Remember, all our business is virtual, because we have business in Europe and in Africa, in over 12 countries, but everything we do is virtual. So people are busy. So what we do is connect on phone, and then we ask them, you have someone you want to sponsor and they don't have time, so introduce them to the product, and then I'll help you finish the other bit, so that they can also get to hear my side of the story. And I have been there longer. I have developed a testimony. So the third party credibility is working in a big, big way, because also it allows we call them promoters here. It allows the promoter also to get to hear how you do it, so that when they're talking to someone on their own, they know what to do. So we really emphasize, don't just hand me over your people to sign them up for you. If you have the time, be on the line with me, be on the Zoom with me, so that we can do it together. If not, then begin the process and then hand them over to me, so that they can also have this believability when we have a third party. It's not just me saying it, they are also hearing it from another person. So that has helped a lot. And we have, we talk, we meet with my team on Zoom, one-on-one. One-on-one is also a great pointer that is helping the team grow, to the extent that I have 6 directors in my team, and the look of things, we may have a 7th director coming up this month, because we do a lot of one-on-one training. Because you realize when you start when you sponsor someone and then they sponsor other people, like I have a senior manager on this call. I know we've had several meetings with the senior manager, trying to make them understand the compensation plan, understand the catalog, because that's another driver for people to be able to sponsor, to understand the catalog. So we have one-on-one meeting to get them through the catalog, such that when they're sponsoring and someone comes in, they meet a prospect and they say, I'm having heart issues, high blood pressure. Do you have products for that? I want them to be able to be spontaneous in saying yes, because that gives confidence. So we do catalog training in a one-on-one situation, so people understand the products. They may not understand in details, but you have the general concept that we have supplements for this and that and that. Even by the time they come to you, they have already helped these people understand what they need to do. The other thing is self-development. Self-development is a key thing. And this is one of the things I say, like in the beginning, I had no clue. I did not understand. I wasn't even warming up to the business. But when I attended training sessions, I started understanding that I can make money. I started understanding, and the concept that I really took, that really got me at my age, at the retirement age, when you are, in your 60s, you want to pay attention to your retirement. So what I was focusing on is this business is going to allow me to continue working in my retirement. This business will continue working for me even after I have retired. So with that concept, I know, attending the development, the self-development programs where you go to the trainings and you learn this. If you don't go, you will not be able to learn, and you cannot even share. I'm able to share with my people who a lot of times are very, very busy. So we do a one-on-one and I train them and I tell them, look, this is something that's going to give you $500, $1,000 when you retire, when our bodies, as we go on, our natural ability to work diminishes. So you want to have something to fall back to, because we can no longer fall back on our children, because they also have their own issues to deal with. Again, it's a business that you can do from home. I am a grandmother who is an active grandmother with a child, my granddaughter that I take care of, but I'm able to work around her. So that is one of the things that, attending training, I was able to understand that, I don't have to leave my job. I can do it part-time and create an income that is believable. Also, for people like in our partners in Kenya or in Africa, we encourage them to attend the physical meetings, because this is good. It's only that we don't have that here. Again, the dynamics of how the US is, having physical meetings is a real, difficult thing at this particular time. So we encourage also physical meetings, those who can attend physical meetings, because the meetings are what have produced us the difference. We are able to understand, we are able to see what you need to do, because if you don't get trained, you don't know what to share. You cannot share what you don't have. Again, the other thing is events, attending events. This is key. And I know just as began by, promoting an event that's coming up in Uganda. That is great. Attend events so that you can learn from other people. And I think it's Dennis who was saying the way you learn from someone who came from, I think, Nigeria. So attend events as much as possible. Sometimes they're not possible, but when it is possible, attend events, conventions. I know here we have had conventions, and then we have had a lot of other training sessions that's going on. So whenever you can get that chance to attend an event, please make sure you do so, because like conventions is where businesses are supercharged. And I see, every time after convention, there is this energy, new energy that is generated, that comes in. So make sure that you're attending any event, any meetings that come in. Again, I have seen growth in my team after events and after attending, things like conventions. Planning and having goal setting. That's important because it means you're treating it as a serious business. Because if you don't treat it as a business, it's not going to be a serious business. If you want to be a director, and I know I've been speaking, to one of my directors, I can see one of them here, and I say, this is good income. If you want this income to continue growing, you have to provide time for your business, whereby you're planning and you're setting your goals. What are your goals? My goal is to become a Ruby in a few months. And before I get there, what do I need to put in place? My plan is to have enough managers, senior managers, executive managers, and directors. And I do have a lot of managers. I do have executive managers, and we are working to make sure that you're confirming, because this is what I tell my managers, my executive managers, my directors. Even if you don't step up to the next level, make sure you are confirming at your level. That's important. Confirm at your level so that you can keep your income at that particular level. It may be give or take, a few dollars up or down, but make sure you're confirming at that level. As you continue sponsoring, you're going to see your business growing. And it's also important to know, even as a director, that to sustain that level, to sustain your directorship, you need to have your managers, your senior managers, your executive managers confirming. Because if you're not confirming, then you're not going anywhere. You need to work with your downlines. And that is one of the things that I've taken very, very seriously, working with my downlines, talking to them on a daily basis, inspiring them, inviting them for meeting, for training. Let's talk, let's see what we can do so that you keep your status, if not step up. But step up is always, the best option. But I say, if you don't step up, don't go down. Because if I want to keep my status, I need my directors, I need my managers all to keep, at that level. And, if you haven't confirmed, just encouraging them and looking at what are the dynamics that can make you confirm, because things happen. There's situations, like Kenya, things have been tight, have been difficult, a period of tension with the elections and all that. And at that particular moment, nobody was listening. And I know the team in Kenya was trying very, very hard, but at such a period, it might be difficult. But now that we are beyond that, we are now engaged in a discussion with the team in Kenya. How do we go back? How do we, capture our status so that we can keep on moving on? We can have managers and senior managers. Remember, when you have managers and senior managers, your business is going to grow because everybody is getting a check. Everybody gets a check at their level. So if you have people who are just there, they wanted to do business and they're not receiving any check, then that's where you're going to lose. And I know during one of the leadership training with the CEO, Kendra Brasfield, she said, whatever you do, when you are talking to people, make sure that you help them, your downlines, your prospects, the people who join your business, help them to succeed. One may be coming with a why because they want physical healing. They want to get that healing. So make sure you recommend what they need. The ones who want financial, they want to make a check. Make sure that they make a check. Always been on the lookout. I'm always on the lookout as we come to beginning of the month, looking at how we close the month. We have a discussion beginning of the month, middle of the month, and as we come to the close of the month, I remember just picking the phone and saying, hey, Mary, you need 300 PVs so that you can hit your director or even better. So just not letting this slip, realizing, and I do this because I realize the dynamics of my team, especially here in the US. They're extremely busy and something can slip So I take it upon myself to work with them, build those relationships such that I can call them and we can discuss and they do it. Again, another thing that is key apart from the planning is the follow-up. And that's what I'm talking about. Following up with your team. You have to follow up. You have to have that tight connection. This is a business of relationships. You have to have a good relationship with your team so that when you talk to them, they trust you. Because if I tell Mary, you do 500, you're going to be a director, you're going to go to the next level, they're going to trust you and they'll work with you, and you help them sponsor, help them by doing the third party credibility. Or even if they don't have the time, you say, okay, who is it you want to talk to? Help them also to remind them during your follow-up to have an active list of prospects, because don't rely on the list that you made at the beginning. It has to be active. You have to keep updating it, bringing in new names of people that you have to talk to. Because if you don't do that, what happens if you don't bring in new people? What happens when you have someone, life happens, and they were doing 600 PVs and they do zero? You see, you're going to drop down. That's why you need to keep on building your business, and then having the long range vision. That is something I really like about this business, because you're bringing in people because you want your business to grow. You want your business to be there. But if you're living for today, then you find that you're not putting the effort, because this is a business like any other business. You have to invest and look at long term. It is not a quick fix. It's not a get rich quick business. It's a business whereby, and because if it's a get quick rich, that's how it come and go. This is something for the future. So make sure you focus and set your goals, aiming for the future. Again, teamwork is great. It's something that's very, very important, that you're working as a team. You can always, ask your upline. And I always work with my uplines and my downlines. If I, for example, I'm not in a position, my someone in my team needs something, I will call my upline and say, hey, Josephine, can you help Mary deal with this case? Because I'm not available. And she steps in very, very quickly and does that, or even contacts someone. So, working as a team is key. Do not do it on your own. Do teamwork because it's great. And what's the other thing? And I think for me, that is what is key. That has helped me grow my business: sponsoring, following up, teamwork, relationship building, the third party credibility. That's very, very important. And with that, I think that's all I had to share with you today. Just as back to you.
Wow, this is so amazing. I've always wondered how you were able to build a business that could pay you up to $1,000 within a space of only 3 months. But today you've actually put it very, very clear with what you've been able to share with us. And I really, really want to thank you so much for you've been able to share with us. This information is really, really so helpful. And it's really coming at the right time. The people that are listening to you, we are all mentoring them and nurturing them and giving them guidance on how they can be able to become directors by November. And of course, them hearing your experience on how you came to become director in 3 months, this is so helpful. This is so helpful. We thank you so much. And I do believe that in November, actually December, I will send you a list of the people that are on this call that have actually become directors because of your input. Thank you so much. We truly
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
And to everyone that has been listening in, we just need to get down to do the work. I mean, this is evident. I mean, she became director in only 3 months, earning $1,000 in 3 months. I always love telling myself that if anyone can do something, then I can be able to do it as well. Everyone that is listening to this call, we've listened to Rachel's story. I mean, if she has been able to become direct, she was able to become director in 3 months. That is evident that we can actually also become directors in 3 months. I will make sure that I pass on the recording shortly so that in case anyone missed or in case you want to listen to it, you can listen to it over and over and over and over again until you get everything that you shared about so that you can be able to apply it in your team, you apply it in your business, because all we want is a team of directors, nothing else, nothing more. A team of directors by the end of this year. Then next year we can actually now lay strategies for our team. Thank you so much. And to everyone that has been listening in, thank you so much. I know there are also very many of our brothers and sisters who had logged in from Kenya. Thank you so much for logging in. You know, in case you did know it, we are actually your brother team from Uganda, together with Rachel's team, together with Grace Chege's team. We've been there for each other. We supported each other, and I'm telling you, very soon, so many presidency members are going to be developed. So thank you so much for that teamwork, and thank you for loving our team, and have a blessed evening. I don't know whether that side it's I don't know